Sadie, are we ready to go?
Yes, we are.
All right, terrific. Let's go ahead and bring the December 14, 2021 council meeting to order. Please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. Thank you very much. Welcome. Roll call, please.
Mayor Johnson.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Evans.
Here.
Councilmember Carter.
Here.
Councilmember Fullerton.
Here.
Councilmember Ishmael. Councilmember McClymonds.
Here.
Councilmember Swatman.
Present.
And Councilmember Watson.
Here.
Terrific.
I'm here, Sadie. Sorry, hung up on.
Oh, Councilman Ismail's here.
Yes, sorry about that.
Terrific. Welcome. We have no agenda modifications. We do have appointments this evening. Sadie?
Agenda Bill 21-175. The council motion would be to ratify the mayor's appointment of Gary Fiedler and Todd Dole to the Planning Commission with a term of
So moved. Seconded.
Seconded. This will fill our planning commission, which I'm really happy that these folks are willing to step up. So I really appreciate that. Any discussion? Councilmember Swatman?
Just for note, I appreciate the mayor's appointing these excellent qualified individuals. Great choice on the mayor there. Comment our contributions in the past to the city, and they will be welcomed on the planning commission with all of their knowledge, especially with their background from elected experience in running for offices and such. I would love to have that public input on the planning commission level. This, of course, as noted on the agenda bill, the council does not have the function of, okaying this or disokaying this or disapproving with this. This is just merely a notice from the mayor, courtesy to inform the council that this is action that he's taking. So we don't want, I want to be clear to the public so that they don't think that the council functions as the council has a different function in establishing how the planning commission is made up. We choose to take that position as opposed to actually confirm the individuals there. So congratulations for finding these qualified individuals, and thanks for getting Todd back on the in the fold there. And Carrie, I've always supported her, so it'll be great to have her. Thank you.
Terrific. Thank you very much. So I've done this for all 16 years. I've always brought the council in, engaged in this process. So I'll ask for you to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Thank you very much. Appreciate that. We have no public hearings this evening. Now we have citizen comments. So this is your chance to speak to the city council on the matters of city business. You have 5 minutes. State your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. My name is Mark Freeman. I'm the secretary for the Greater Bonnie Lake Historical Society. My address is 74 Kestrel Place, Quinn, Washington. We just moved out of the area. Comment we'd like to make tonight is that you can see we have standing behind me most of the officers of the Greater Bonnie Lake Historical Society. As a historical society, what we've been doing for the past 20 years now is maintaining and gathering data, information, historical documents of our city and the surrounding area. Therefore, we are the Greater Bonnie Lake Historical Society. And in doing so, of course, we'd like to take a moment tonight. And Mayor Johnson, I wish we could do this in person, but we're going to do this virtually. We'd like to present to you a certificate of appreciation for your advocacy through the Greater Bonnie Lake Historical Society over the past many years. If I could, I'd like to read this certificate, and I will hand this to.
That's great. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so our certificate of appreciation as it reads, whereas the Greater Bonnie Lake Historical Society, which was founded in 2001, and whereas the Greater Bonnie Lake Historical Society, an all-volunteer nonprofit organization dedicated to the preservation of our area's history and to the continuing education of all those people who value the legacy of our plateau's forebears. So it's with profound gratitude that the Greater Bonnie Lake Historical Society bestows on this, the 14th day of December, 2021, a lifetime honorary membership to Mayor Neil Johnson Jr. His support and encouragement during this time in office has ensured that the residents of Bonnie Lake have had access to the thousands of documents, artifacts, and photographs that tell our plateau's history, thus providing community roots and a sense of belonging. And signed by our president, Joanne Taylor, who's standing behind. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. On behalf of the Greater Bonnie Lake Historical Society, we couldn't have asked for a better advocate for our work, and we certainly hope that we can see that level of advocacy here in the future within our city. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I wish I was there in person, but COVID, and we all know my history, so just trying to be extra safe and extra careful. The Historical Society has been a treasure for the Bonnie Lake. I've loved to see how it's grown over the years. Of course, we remember there's a certain Musgrave that said we need a museum, and we still need a museum. So I really appreciate you guys for all the hard work and what you've done to date. Keep it going, and I'm sure you have a strong council there that'll work with you. Just make it happen, and I'm going to thank you, and I'm going to stay involved with the Historical Society. I want to definitely be. I'll have some time to do that, so we'll make that happen. Thank you very much. Anyone else for the good of the order?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? All right. Thank you, Mayor Neil Johnson, for everything you've done. For everyone that doesn't know me, my name is Burhan Sela. I'm 23 years old, and for the new council members, in Bonnie Lake, I'm known as the Kaya guy, and that's because over the past 4 years, I've been the vendor for the city of Bonnie Lake, and I've been managing my company, Fun Kayak Rentals, which runs the concession stand and the kayak rentals at Palomar Park. I love running the kayak rental business. It combines my passion for outdoors and working together with the city to provide this awesome fun service to our locals has helped me better my business management skills. I've managed relationships with employees of the city, the Cascade Water Alliance, and our Lake Tap neighbors. Fun Kayak Rentals provides a ton of value for our local community, as our kayak rentals is the only way for locals to get on the water if they don't have a boat. We know our locals love us because they come every summer, but also because we were recognized as the best thing to do in Bonnie Lake by King 5 News, which aired in August last summer, as some of you probably saw it. Every year, the kayak rentals at Lake Taps, with its breathtaking views of Mount Rainier, brings thousands of people from Seattle, Tacoma, and all the surrounding areas to Bonnie Lake. These same people end up buying lunch in Bonnie Lake and after the kayak rental, which helps support our local businesses. And for the past 4 years, we've maintained 0 injuries, 0 accidents, and helped everyone stay safe during their adventure. To continue with our impeccable safety record, we've made basic kayak training for free, so everyone knows how to stay safe while they're kayaking. We always have a paddleboard on standby for rescue, but to prevent a rescue mission from ever happening, we always have a staff member with binoculars on standby. If they see anyone not wearing a life jacket or may need help with a paddle, they will paddle out to them before an accident even arises. And we also have the Coast Guard on Lake Taps ready to go out on busy days if someone ever needs emergency. But besides providing valuable service for our customers and for the community, we also help get about 10 kids jobs every summer. And my staff love working at the kayak rentals because usually the only other options they have is working at Walmart or a fast food restaurant. And let's be honest, being a fry cook or stocking up a Walmart does not build any real skill. With me, they are actually able to build real customer service skills, communication skills, and vision, because I involve all my staff in many of the decision making for the company, which makes them have a sense of purpose and responsibility when they come to work every day. In fact, some actually quit their higher paying jobs at Walmart and they come with me over the summer because they value the experience more than the couple dollars in increased wage. But over the years, the city of Bonnie Lake has found that prior to adding the kayak rentals, the concession stand, which only used to sell food, drinks, and ice cream, was not self-supporting for previous concessionaires. That required the need for expanding the concession operation to add kayak and paddleboard rentals. Only one vendor indicated, that was me, any interest when the city advertised for vendors in 2016, and pretty much ever since I've been running the operation. My contract to continue running the kayak stands expires on April 2022, but I believe, and the community as well, Fun Kayak Rentals has been a valuable addition and deserves a new contract. We've added a stable presence on the beach and have safety equipment that can help general public users in an emergency. In June, we were able to settle on an area of the beach, for the business that to use that doesn't interfere with other beach uses. In order to continue operating the concession stand, we need to renew the contract, and unfortunately, there has been no progress on a new agreement. And for me to hire staff, prepare equipment, and supplies, we will need the certainty of an agreement no later than January or February at the very latest. And since there was only one bidder last time, I believe a new general advertisement would be unfruitful. This means it will need to be taken up by the finance committee as soon as it is constituted in January, or there will be no consideration in summer. Normally, as you guys may know, Gary is the one that handles all this, but since he retired, the workload has kind of been deviated to others, and I'm not sure who would be in charge. But I really want to bring back the kayak rentals over the summer. This way, the community doesn't lose out on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else for the good of the order?
I'd like to turn the hot seat. My name is Chris Lear, and I'm an East Town business owner and developer. Where I've been working in the city for the last 5 years to put some structures out there. And I'd like to thank the council, staff, and Mayor Johnson for the support that we've experienced over the last 5 years as we've gone through our development process. No secret that we're good at our business, but had no idea the complexity of such projects when we came on board, and the patience that all levels of the organization here showed us allowed us to get our feet under us, and then hopefully deliver something of value to the community. And the support Mayor Johnson showed is very, very unique, I feel. Everybody's quite willing to leave it to experts to try to execute and to try to have somebody like us come into town and be so patient and gentle and thoughtful. It was really a unique experience. So from our family and our company to your family, sir, I appreciate you understanding how much you mean to us. And with that, I brought you a present. This is a bottle of champagne that we actually, the last bottle from our grand opening party.
Ooh.
And I hope perhaps that maybe your Christmas engagement with your staff, you might be able to have a champagne celebration for all your good work. Thank you for your support, sir. All the
Well,
best. The bottle is
thank
full.
Thank you, Chris, very much. I appreciate it, and I definitely appreciate the value you bring to East Town and the way you've done your business, the way you've conducted yourself. Very professional. I think this can kind of be a model for how government can work with the private business sector. There's little issues here and there, but government is difficult. Government is, not the easiest thing to work with. But I think this partnership has really showed well and how to get through that. And it takes a council too to be part of that. And I think that's really been good as far as everyone being straightforward. So I thank you, Chris. And you're a big steward in this city. You give a lot to charity. You do a lot behind the scenes. And Teeter is a great business, and your family is awesome. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Anyone else with go to the order?
Council, deputy council, deputy mayor, and mayor, and past council members. I am past council member Daniel Decker. And I just want to speak a little bit about the New World Order that's coming our way, brought to you by government and many other governments, to the rich. Who could have imagined seeing how government, media, and health organizations are insanely corrupt? This corruption is nothing compared to what will be happening soon. The Georgia Guidestones tell what is to come. The Guidestones were built in 1980 in Elbert, Georgia. Who built the Guidestones? That is a question. Who built the Guidestones? This secret was intentional, and the company that built the stone, the Guidestones monument, signed a non-disclosure to keep the secret. I believe it was the unholy children of the super rich that built this Guidestone. There are 10 statements in many languages that say the following. 1. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Kind of curious if they meant that they were going to be killed and the rest of us get to live. I don't think so. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. Means there'll only be one language in the world. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Really don't know what that means. Somebody must, right? Protect people and nations with fair law and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. World court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. I wonder if that means that the council will be gone. But you are not petty and you're not useless. At least it's not in my mind. Balance personal rights with social duties. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Yeah, what does that mean? Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. These 10 statements are what the New World Order has for you and me and any person, not one of them. Statements 1 and 6 tell me it is the New World. This is the New World Order. Number 6, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Number 1, which really scares me the most, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. There's only 500 million. Whatever happened to the 8 billion that just died because of this statement that they want? I'm sure we haven't died yet, but I know that if we look real hard, we'll realize that every time the angel of death sends us a new vaccine every 6 months, we get closer and closer to that death. One more statement, if I may, and that is, City Clerk, I have a public disclosure for you, which is here in my hand, and I'll give it to you in a minute. And I don't expect you to deal with it this year, even though I'm giving it to you next year. Thank you very much, Council.
Thank you very much, Mr. Decker. Anyone else for the good of the order?
Good evening, Council. My name is Brandy Brown, and this is my husband, David Brown, and we just opened 4 Days Market here in Bonnie Lake, 410. We're located right between the Harborstown Bank and Midas, right across from Bigfoot Java. And we explained that because it seems like it's hard to find. So we're hoping eventually it will become more common that people know where it is. But for now, we explain that every time we talk to anybody. So we just opened about 3 months ago, and we've had tremendous community support so far. We've been really impressed with our community. We moved here to Bonnie Lake 6 years ago, and I believe we represent a lot of the people who've been moving here to Bonnie Lake over the last decade from other communities and trying to make this our home. 4 Days Market is a community-based specialty market. So we bring a lot of local goods. About 70% of what we carry is local to the Northwest. And about probably close to 20-30% is actually local to this area, such as we have salmon from Buckley, smoked salmon from Buckley. We've got Mom's microgreens and CB sauces from here in Bonnie Lake, tea from Puyallup, coffee from Bonnie Lake and Buckley, cookies from Sumner, from Wow Cookies, Goodness Sisters from Wilkeston. So we have really worked hard to go out to different businesses, and people have come to us and asked for things to source those things and bring them into one location. So what we're trying to do is provide the community some place that they can come and support local businesses without having to drive to Sumner, to Buckley, to everywhere. And then we also have a lot of products from, Bend, Oregon, Portland, Oregon, Seattle. There's just so many high quality local products. In doing that, we've been really lucky. We haven't hit a lot of supply chain issues because everything's local. And so what we've been able to do is order things and get them within a week or two because they're right down the street and they're ready to go. The other thing we've been able to do is give a place for people to sell their products where they don't make enough to supply Fred Meyer's. So even if they could get a large chain to buy their products, they can't scale up to that level. So by going into small community markets, we're allowing them that opportunity, especially for people who sell at the farmers markets and things like that. The other thing we're doing is we're creating a place where our community likes to shop. That doesn't just come in because they need milk. We want to create a place that's a community. We actually saw that this last weekend. It was really exciting. We had people walking in who recognized their neighbors. They didn't come in together. They recognized their neighbors. They said hi to each other. And they said, "Oh, I didn't even know you knew about this place." And that was actually really heartwarming. That was really fun because that's what we're trying to create. And we're also doing pop-ups on the weekends. So we can't sell some things because the licensing. So the people who want to sell in our store, they don't have a license to sell to us, but they have a license to sell directly to the public, like at a farmer's market. So we've created a pop-up situation where they can come in on the weekend, set up a table in our open space, and sell directly to the public and give people a place to buy some more Christmas gifts and things like that without having to leave Bonnie Lake. And that's the other thing we're doing is we're creating a place that keeps people here. So the more time, the more things we can keep people here in Bonnie Lake, that keeps their funds right here So we just wanted to introduce ourselves and let everybody know that we're here and that we're looking forward to partnering with the city council and with the rest of the community. And yeah.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Yes. On the food bank last week, I met and talked to these folks. It's a great outpouring they have. People show up to the food bank over their products, so what they have within the community. So this is so great of them, what they're doing, not only selling the products from my area, but also they're going out and are taking what's going on in our community, and I appreciate it.
Terrific. Welcome to Bonnie Lake.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask
Yes.
a question?
Go ahead. Yes.
just was wondering, what was the name of the business again?
Oh, it's Poor Days Market.
So it's like poor as in P-O?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr.
Yep, thank you. All right. Is there anyone else with the good of the order? Do I see anyone else? I don't really see anybody. Mr. Vorkovich?
Lillian, one more. One more.
Oh,
If I can talk loud enough, or close enough. Lillian McGinnis, and I'm the Executive Director for Beautify Bonnie Lake. And I just wanted to take a few minutes, not very long, just to say where I first met Neil Johnson when I was working. Most people don't know me as actually having a job that was paid, but I did. And he was a brand new councilman then for the city of Bonnie Lake, and he came in and asked me, would your bank sponsor us, because I would like to get Bonnie Lake Days going. So I remember Neil meeting him as soon as he came on the council. And I just wanted to say, Neil, that although I really promote Beautify Bonnie Lake, I do promote the city too in a lot of organizations. I just want to thank you so much for all the support you have given to Beautify Bonnie Lake and every organization here in Bonnie Lake. And it's not a goodbye. It's till we meet again in what project we're going to be working on. Thank you.
terrific. Thank you, Lillian. Yeah, I enjoyed. I remember bringing back Bonnie Lake Days, and Councilmember Swatman, Deputy Mayor Swatman at the time, was a big help in that as well. Bringing that back was huge, and of course, Beautify Bonnie Lake, being a founding board member, really proud of that group, and the weight's taken off. With Councilmember Watson, Deputy Mayor Evans, and then others, and of course, Lillian. Bonnie Lake would not be Bonnie Lake without Lillian. That's just the way it is, and you've done a tremendous job. You've worked really hard. We're all better because of you. So, yeah, we'll see each other again next year for sure. Hopefully, COVID will relax and we can get back to normal somewhat. And but thank you. So it's been my pleasure. Anyone else for the good of the order? John, do you see anybody?
Mr. Mayor.
Oh, I'm again.
No more.
All right. No more. Okay, very good. So I guess we'll move on now. We have no correspondence. We have council committee reports. Finance committee, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Finance committee has not had any meetings in the month of December. I do have a recruitment update. We have posted a prosecutor position. It is the first review scheduled will remain open until filed. We do have continuous recruitment for the recreation site assistant for AM/PM for Crestwood location, scheduled to open on January 3rd. And we have continuous recruitments for youth sport officials. Updates and in process, an accounting specialist cashier. Pre-employment process is complete. The individual selected start date is January 3rd. The senior center kitchen aide part-time position is filled, and the candidate selected starts on 12/16, so 2 days from now. Senior center assistant interviews have been postponed until January due to the illness and holidays. Records clerk, the top candidates are in pre-employment background process, and lateral police officer applicant has been selected and is in pre-employment process as well.
Terrific. Is that it, Deputy Mayor Evans?
Sir.
Okay, great. Thank you. Community Development Committee, please.
Mr. Mayor, the Community Development Committee did not meet. We put the item back to the workshop.
Okay.
Members hanging out for that. A little bit of detail there. So anytime that the council wants to get things out to the full workshop, just feel free to contact your committee members respectively, and hopefully they will bring that to the full council.
All right. Is that it, Councilmember Swatman?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Public Safety Committee, please.
Thank you,
Mr. Mayor, Public Safety Committee will meet Tuesday, January 11th.
Oh, I can't hear anything.
Sorry. The next meeting will be Tuesday, January 11th at 3:30 upstairs. All I have.
Terrific. Thank you, Councilmember Carter. I don't see any other reports. We do have a consent agenda where Councilmember McClymans would like to pull off items H and I and move that to full council issues, which will now become C and D. Is that correct, Councilmember McClymans?
Thank you. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, very good. So with that change, we have the consent agenda. Is a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Thank you very much. So let's go ahead and move on to the full council issues. Sadie, item A, please.
This is item A, which is resolution 3001. The council motion would be to authorize approval of the professional services, admin, consulting services, construction, inspection.
So moved.
Second.
Second, any discussion? I don't see any hands up. Okay, no hands up. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Item B, please.
This is item B, which is resolution 3002. The council motion would be to authorize the mayor to sign the construction of development contractors for the construction of Allen York Park Improvements Phase 1 project.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Mr. Woodcock, do you want to add anything to this?
There will be a construction services contract. You read the memo that will be coming. We're coming in the first council meeting in January. I'm working with the two teams, the architectural team and the inspection team, to come up with a contract for that. Those numbers should be under $400,000.
Thank you, Mr. Woodcock. Any questions from council?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Councilmember Carter. Yeah, I have a little bit of an issue with this one. I know the memo came out on Friday in regards to this. It's going to cost an additional $1.67 million. $350,000 grant. I really can't wrap my head around that much of an increase just to keep that grant for now. I think if we turn down this deal at this point, we have the opportunity to later move the field to where it probably should have been to begin with, which would be Midtown Park. I think it makes much more sense over there. So at this point, I would be a no on this.
All right. Thank you very much. Any other discussion?
Mr. Mayor, Tom.
Yes, go ahead, Tom.
I have concern also, just like Councilman Carter spoke about the amount that being spent here, that we don't have to pay for it at this point, and I'm not comfortable with spending more money we have in our budget. The other issue I have, I don't see how they can get this on the going and finish to meet the grant needs by June. Otherwise, they have to be after extension. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was able to extend that grant to the end of September. So we'll have the summertime to make this come again.
The other question I have about what we're doing in the construction, are we using chrome rubber in this project?
Yes, we are, but it is double coated.
I know some controversy where it may be required to be removed from fields. Chrome rubber, is that true?
I'm not an expert on the chrome rubber. I do know that the turf fields now do have coatings on this rubber to prevent any kind of a contamination issue.
Well, go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Well, I was just going to let you know that these are basically the same fields that our schools have right now. So these are the same fields that are in the schools.
And that's chrome rubber. I checked on that one.
Yeah.
So,
And
if that comes to be a problem, the coating might take care of it. But I don't want to see us here next year to have to remove that. Very costly for it. I'm in favor of chrome rubber anyway. That's my concern with it. So, and we've got playground equipment we've already have a grant for. That can be moved to Midtown Park now. And if we go forward with this, and I checked on that, we can be moving it. And we can apply for another grant in August. We can go forward with something at Allenmore Park and get another set of playground. So our volunteers from the city can actually go out there and help put those in Midtown Park and get something started like I've been asking for a long time. And we have a little bit of money here to do something with our parking area, picnic tables and little playground and get us going in it. So at this point, I'm not going to vote.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Watson. Yes, Councilmember Fulton.
Yeah, so I was looking at this also, and it looks like the future location of the fields is the parking lot where the boat traffic comes from, where they park their cars with their boat trailers after they've launched their boats. I know they're paying a lot of money to launch boats at our boat launch there at Allen York. So it seems fitting that we would still allow them to have a place to park and not have to park on the street. And I don't know if the parking across the street from, I believe it's the baseball fields there, if that would become available again. Is that 4? Like ballpark 4, where they have parked in the past. So I'm just really confused as to where we can park these boat trailers if we're taking away this parking lot and not allowing them to park there, especially if there's a game going on. And there's several other issues with the crosswalks, and there's not a sidewalk on the east side of West Taps that I know of there. So that doesn't seem very safe. Issues there. I'm also kind of wondering, do we have this extra money set aside in a budget? Where is this extra money supposed to come from?
Yeah, so the extra money, we have a surplus, about $8 million that is unaccounted for, usually from sales tax. We've been very fortunate with the sales tax collections. So the dollars are available in the general fund for the council to utilize if they so choose. And as far as anything else, this project's been underway since 2017, and so we're 4 years into it. A lot of things have been done to it, but I understand the council's concern about these things. But to me, if it happens or it doesn't happen, to me, I prefer to happen because the community needs something like this. They've been waiting for something like this. The Wazoo property will not be ready to do. Midtown Park will not be ready for 2, 3, 4 years for anything like this. But, there again, if we don't do it now, when do we do it? And eventually, maybe it doesn't happen. So, but I understand the concerns. I'm going to leave it at that because it's late in the game. I mean, the bid results came out. This is what we're dealt with. It's a COVID issue. Thank President Biden, I guess. I don't know. Thank him for the inflation. All these things. I mean, this is ridiculous. I've never seen things jump up so high. So I understand everyone's concerns. I prefer we just move forward and make it happen and show the community we can put something together. But if not, I guess I understand as well. I won't be here to deal with it as far as being the mayor. It'll be up to the council to be strong and move forward and get a game plan, and which I'm sure you guys are all strong enough to do. So I'll leave it at that.
Mr. Mayor, this is Councilmember Ishmael. Can I say something?
Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
I'm audio only. I would like to say I agree with you on this one. Normally, I'm pretty fiscally conservative in some of these matters, but I do believe that more than 5 years ago, we made a promise to the city to get this done. And I have seen and talked with parents who use the field behind Kelly Farms every weekend for their sports, and there's just not enough playing fields for the kids. And I think that this would be a great addition. I agree that the price tag is egregious and frustrating with inflation, but if we don't get it done now, it could only get worse. And I say we get it done, we make it happen for the community, and then we make plans accordingly for the next phases. But we need to finish one phase of the project, and I think it would be a really great asset for the city going into sports season. And I understand the boat launching. I recommend we turn parking lot 4 by the baseball fields into a boat launch parking area, and I think that would suffice just enough for those boats over there. And I think that this project should go forward and just settle on a price and move on.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other Councilmember Swatman?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, of course, I've been working on this project with the mayor and the property for you, council. This property through a very difficult property negotiation. It was always meant to be a park, right? Very difficult deal back then, but the public invested $6 million at that point. Extraordinary amount of money back then to invest in a piece of property that basically thought about and planned out for many, many years to be used as a park. And there's just been, one of these things where we around about a lot of accurate issues. We have Councilmember Carter points out some very good issues as Councilmember Fullerton over there and Councilmember Watson. Everybody has particular issues about it. But again, we've stood before the people in the park and during many Bonnie Lake days and held up posters of inside the city booth and said, this is what the plan was. This is what the park board's been working on. This is what the planning commission has been working on. This is what the staff has been working on. This is the very tail end of a project that's, yes, definitely highly concerned. The price came in much over budget, but the budget was projected to be, that was years ago when they made that up. You don't know why that there's some movement there. Yeah, so I think that in my conversation with Mr. Woodcock, he probably we had a high level of confidence that the contractor is going to be able to do this within the actual price that they bid. As you imagine, that's pretty important to me for people to be able to deliver the project within the actual cost. So for me, it comes back to just exactly what Councilmember Ishmael was talking about. We've told the public, I've told the public many years that they were going to have some park services out there that could be better utilized. Yes, you're going to probably create other problems that we're going to need to work on, and 100% support that Midtown Park is a huge piece that we also need to be working on and doing some things on, and very committed to doing many things over there. But this is like a very small piece, and even though, every dollar counts, I'd be making the same argument over $100,000 or $200,000. We're talking $2 million something. We didn't have this kind of a huge argument when we knew that the boiler had to be replaced. $50 million. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars just like right now to get that done because it needed to be done. It was the right thing to do. So I'm probably hopefully, how do we get the yes on this, right? So if we need some more time to, answer some more council member questions, in my mind, councilpersons, that we would need to cover, that we can possibly get to yes. And this is not a decision that we absolutely have to make tonight. So I don't know where, everybody's at, but I definitely support. It's amazing to see Councilmember Ishmael step up as the newest council member with the newest, freshest eyes and being able to recognize that need. And I know that Mr. Watson did not run on an anti-park campaign when he ran for, because I did not see that in your literature that said on parks. And that's a huge project, a very complex project. We've also put much effort into, and there's plans for that. We need to be able to deliver for the public what we need to, if the council, and I think the council repeatedly again made, movement in this direction. This is the very tail end of it. Or as I said, yes, we're going to keep the grant. We've told the granting agencies that yes, we're going to be able to do this, right? There's a lot of political issues background when you go out for grants. Many people involved in that. We've recognized the same kind of issues when we're doing trail projects, where we've said that, hey, this is a ridiculous amount of money for this trail. That thing, oh my gosh, very necessary. But talk about spending some money out there. We've, threw a lot of extra money at making sure to get that trail moving and being able to advocate for the project. This one, yeah, it's a lot of money, but I'm really, hopefully, John won't burn me on it if the project comes in at, you know. So if we can get to that yes point, it better come in below budget, right? For what they said they're gonna do, otherwise I guess I might have to do something else with it. That's just where I'm at on this, is being able to actually get it done. Hopefully.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Mr. Mayor.
Yep, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. As much as I love the parks and I love this idea, for me, I've always stated that I don't want to start something if I don't have a plan to finish it. Allen York is a 4-phase, $24 million project. We're already 1.6 million over on the first part of phase 1A, let alone all the rest. When we start burning through 18% of our surplus to cover this, by the time we get through all 4 phases, we won't have a surplus. And we already discussed that there is inflation going on right now. We have a lot of projects going, and all of our projects are going over budget and over time. And as much as I've been a contractor that made that same promise, I've also been that contractor that broke that same promise. So of being on time and being under budget. For me, I don't have a problem with the park project itself. All about the starting something that we don't have a finish for. Overall, we still need $54 million to complete all of what our comprehensive plan says for our park needs. And we're already going into debt on this first one, taken from the surplus. So I'm not against the scope of work. I still just want to see a complete plan on how we're going to fund it before we start. I haven't seen that yet, so I have to be a no on this.
All right. Councilmember Climens, do you want to add anything to this, or?
I am compelled to say something about this. I want to get to yes. I looked at this. It's an important project. Parks are difficult. They're super important for the citizens, and so I'm very ambivalent on this. I can go either way. My fiscal responsibility tells me that we didn't have the surplus, I would definitely be a no. But because we had a surplus, I was fairly positive about this, because you have to start somewhere. I appreciate Councilman Evans' statement, though, is that we do have to finish. So, and we need to finish. And Midtown is going to need better parks to serve those citizens there. So this is really hard. I do have a question. What is there a date at which we're going to jeopardize the completion in September? If we postpone this vote and bring it back to the council in January, and we have some discussions amongst the council and along what our park plan is, what is that date that we have to?
Off the top of my head, I can't give you an exact date, but January would still be fine. And let me say this: when you're working towards a goal and the granting agency sees you working towards that goal, don't believe that they will pull the rug out from underneath us for $350,000. Our objective is to complete that. This happens to be October 1st or October 15th. I don't think that's going to be a problem. If you're moving forward, I don't see a benefit to them to pull it away.
Yeah, so at this point, I think I would like to make a motion to table this until.
All right, there's a motion to table that's seconded without discussion. All in favor to table this to the first workshop or the second workshop, or when do you want it?
The first workshop
The first workshop is your swearing in of the new mayor and your election of deputy mayor and council committee. January 4th.
I can't hear anything.
Sounds like January 4th.
Okay. All right. So it's been moved and seconded January 4th workshop. We'll table this too. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank
Nay.
you very much. Well, thank you, Angela. Appreciate that.
I'm all alone.
I'm with you all the way, Angela.
I'm like, oh, okay. No, but
Okay.
that's all right. I'll be on my own island over here.
No, I'm in my island too. So, okay. So now we have next up item C now on the full council agenda. Sadie?
This is item C, which is resolution 2995. The council motion would be to authorize approval of professional services ARC Architects for construction management services.
So move.
Is there a second? Okay. Is that a second, Sadie?
Yes, Deputy Mayor.
Okay. Yeah, it's breaking up. So, all right. So any discussion? Councilmember McClymans.
Yes, I asked to bring this to the full council just so that we could recognize the hard work that was done by the city staff and their willingness to bring the architect to the council workshop. This is a lot of money. This is another construction project, and this is a good example of how construction projects will typically slowly require extra funds and extra time. This is not a wild project by any stretch of imagination. These projects can go much, much worse than they have, and it's actually a very, I think we're on a good trajectory. But I just wanted to say that I could support this, but we have to recognize that any project that we go into, this is the second addition to we've approved, and there definitely will not be a third.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion from council? All right. I don't see any hands up. All in favor? Councilmember Swabman? Oh, okay. Good. I just thought I heard a voice, so that's just me, I guess. All right. So no further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Item D, please. Sadie?
This is item D, which is resolution 2996. The council motion would be to authorize approval of professional services by construction management. Construction of the
So move.
Second.
Terrific. Any discussion? Councilmember McClymans, you want to add anything?
I just want to say what I said before. There's a lot of hard work here. We need to finish this, but we can't let these guys come back for a third time.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I want to thank staff as well. This project's been huge, ongoing, a lot of headaches, a lot of fun, everything you can imagine. I'm sure Ryan has no hair for a reason, right? So
Absolutely.
that's the way it works. And but really appreciate them staying on this, another long-term project. And but I'm with you. It's, the costs got to stay. They got to stay in line. So thank you very much, council. So seeing no further discussion on this, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So before we adjourn, since this is my last meeting.
Here, if I may, before you get started, Mr. Mayor. So Councilmember Watson was kind enough to make a plaque for you, which I don't know if you can see.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's quality.
So yes, it's a quality piece of work here. So presented to Neil Johnson Jr., appreciation, dedication, and service to the citizens of Bonnie Lake on behalf of the City Council, staff, and the citizens. We thank you for your devotion to Bonnie Lake, Council Member 2002 through 2005, and Mayor from 2006 to 2021. And then also, as is typical tradition, when people leave employment with the City of Bonnie Lake after a long tenured time, we do have your street sign for you. So we have a City of Bonnie Lake street sign, Mayor Johnson's Way, 2002 to 2021.
Wow. All right. Well, guys do cry once in a while, I think, but um, uh, thank you very much for that. Tom, thank you very much. I love your woodwork stuff. You do a great job. And Justin does good stuff on his metal work, so I don't want to leave him out. So, but I just want to say thank you to the staff. I've enjoyed being the mayor. I've been proud, and it's been a good group. So I'm wishing everyone all the best. The council, all the best. If you need me, call me. I'll be more than happy to talk. But you'll never know how much Team Bonnie Lake means to me. So with that, before I just drool over myself, we are adjourned. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Merry Christmas.